Right, stable chat. Back onto the standardbreds here with Shane Sanderson and the Sanderson crew here in Murchison. Hello, mate.
Hey, how you going, Paul?
Good. We catch up in a few different places, but the family recently relocated, I suppose, here to Murchison, the property previously owned by Peter Clark. What a beautiful place.
Yeah, no, very fortunate. It's a lovely property, and Peter certainly did a great job. Pete and Marg, his wife, did a great job setting it up. It's it's beautiful for the horses, and it's a nice place to be yourself.
It is. It's a pretty cold, wet sort of day today. WillowWood Farm, because it was WillowWood Equine. Was that what you said it was?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. We kept the name WillowWood Equine. I think they were. We just WillowWood Farms.
Yeah. The Water Walker is one of the, I suppose, showpieces of the place. I think what attracted and really got Peter Clark going, he was one of the first people to get a water walker up and going in Victoria. And then with that, I mean, he was able to produce so many good horses out of it. And so many people relied on his expertise, I suppose, understanding it. You got access to that. He actually told you basically what works, which, that must have been awesome for you guys walking into a place like this and having, that sort of skill set given to you.
Oh, it's invaluable, actually, for sure. So I've never trained horses predominantly from a water walker before, and Pete's water walker was pretty unique as well. So he gave me all the programs. It's very simple, and it took the guesswork out of it for us anyway. So we're very lucky. Naomi
was showing me there before, and she takes pride of it. It's very user friendly, I suppose, is the best way to put it. It's simple and basic. There's no bells and whistles about it, but at the end of the day, it's very user friendly, and it's designed to be a working water walker, not a showpiece one.
Yeah, for sure. And look, Peter, the guy who set it up, was he's very obviously intelligent sort of a bloke. But those people, I find that their genius is in their simplicity. They can look at something and make it simple, and that's what he's done with the water walker. It's just one nozzle. You sort of turn one way to go one way, and turn back to go another, and there's nothing there really to break down. It's just a hydraulic pump, and it runs on tyres. It's very, very simple, very easy to maintain, very simple, and most of all very effective.
It's got a sand base on it as well, and I was worried I hadn't hit the start button, but I have. It's got a sand base on the bottom of it too, which is quite unique. A lot of people go with the tiles and the rubber, but it's good. But Naomi was saying to me there before, it's hard work for the horses too. So as far as a recovery after a track work or something like that, it's probably a little bit hard for that sort of side of things.
Yeah, I suppose it depends how you use it. One of the parts of Pete's program is you turn them around every 5 minutes, so you're sort of going against the flow, and they're sort of working extra harder there. So look, I mean, if you wanted to put them in after a fast work, you could just keep them going the one way, or you can even just stand them in the water, I suppose, just to cool their legs out. So there's a couple of different options, but when they're in there predominantly to work, they are working. Yeah.
I was lucky enough, I did a little bit of work for David Moody back in the day, contract racing, and a lot of horses would come up here to the water walker, then they would go there. Peter Moody, he just had an amazing system that worked, and this was an integral part of it when he was in his halcyon days, when he was a leading trainer in Victoria. So I know you got quite a few gallopers here. They'd be probably attracted to that side of things, the history about the place as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you mentioned the property, and everyone sort of knows, they either mention Peter Clark or Black Caviar, so they all know the property. So it is a property that's sort of well renowned, and and it has sort of operated very successfully, for Peter.
It had a lot more horses than Black Caviar come out of it, but she is a good flagship. The yards out the back where the young horses are, they're pretty simple, but apart from on a day like today, they're pretty tailor-made for here. They're very safe, but out underneath the shady trees, horses must love it underneath there.
Yeah, for sure. Look, the beautiful yards, and the fencing is all safe, and Pete's obviously, I suppose, over 20 years planted a lot of trees, and there's every paddock's got a tree boundary basically, nearly on all, at least 2 or 3 sides anyway. So definitely plenty of shade, and the pastures are good. We've had agronomists in, and the quality of the soil and the pastures are really good. We haven't had to do anything to them, as in putting fertilisers and whatnot. We've sort of sprayed for weeds, but something that'll be ongoing. So, we got a bit of a shock actually, but no, the agronomist spent a couple of days here, and he sort of went round every paddock and give it a good tick of approval.
I think I'm big onto good safe fencing, chicken wire. Chicken wire is designed to break if a horse hits it, but it actually stops them as well. It's very safe, very cheap. But beautiful paddocks, aren't they? Like the way they are, electric fences, very, very simplistic, a bit like Pete's Walker, I suppose, in a way, but very safe. The other thing I noticed, Abbey was taking me around on the motorbike, so some of this footage you might be seeing over the top. There's no straight lines. It's quite unique. It must be great for the horses. They go out into different paddocks and they see the world from, I suppose, a different angle, if you like. It's not all uniform. Do you like that part? I actually loved it when I was seeing it.
Yeah, well, I probably never took too much notice, to be truthful, but it's certainly nice when we walk the horses to the track. We've got a nice walk up the centre of the property, and it's a good probably 10-minute walk to the track, and you can obviously trot them if you want to, if you're stuck for time. But I find if you walk it, the horses enjoy sort of walking there, and they enjoy walking back, and they settle and they relax, and it's not too bad for the trainer either.
No, we're going to say, so it'd be nicer even if there's no phone reception, then you don't have to have the excuse, is there phone reception?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I often find myself on the phone, unfortunately, when I'm doing that. But it is. It's just nice and peaceful, and it's just. I think everyone that's been here, and we certainly looking at a couple of properties with the Lowrys when we were looking at doing this venture, and the one thing that everyone agreed on that's come to the place, and there was about 6 or 7 of us in the car the day we come and looked at it. It's just got everyone said the same thing. It's got a good feel about it. The property. As soon as you get out of the property, it's just got a good feel about it, and it sort of makes it easier to get the best out of yourself, I suppose. And I suppose the horses would appreciate it as well. Yeah,
your track. We'll stay on your track for a second. Hasn't been down all that long, but looks a beautiful track. You're happy with how it's come up?
Yeah, no, extremely happy with the track. It hasn't settled. The more I sort of speak to people, it's going to take a while to settle down properly. So there's a few little challenges, I suppose, to navigate until it finally settles down. But we seem to be erring on the side of caution and getting along okay at the moment. So, but once it's fully settled in, it's very happy with the way the track come up.
Clay basin and bluestone metal on top, so sometimes they do take a while. And I would imagine the ground out there, you had to actually purchase that ground. It wasn't part of this property, so it may not have had a lot of work over the top of it either, so the ground underneath probably has to compact as well.
Yeah, I'd say so. Actually, many years ago when Peter Clark originally bought the place, it was part of the property. Yeah, and he sold it off, so it's changed hands a couple of times, and I don't think it's had anything done to it. It is one. It's sort of not real good soil-wise, but we're sort of working on it so we can yard that up eventually as well.
Well, I was going to ask that. You're going to eventually paddock that up, but obviously you will with time and I suppose money as well. It does all catch up. New shed getting built. Firstly, where we're standing underneath here, you've got 10 boxes, is that right? I think it was 12 boxes underneath here, and then you've got a new shed coming in. We've got the cross ties. You just had Dangerous actually in there just to measure them up before, but you'd be looking forward to the shed being completed, and it ain't that far away.
No, thankfully, no. Last 3 months we've operated without it. It's been pretty stressful. Tying horses up to sides of stables and no tie-up rails, but working out of the stable for feed room and whatnot. But anyway, it'll be good. Yeah, everything will be under the shed and in the shed, and it'll just make our job so much easier. Yeah, and
everything will have its place. You're going to have another four boxes. So you'll have stabling for roughly 20 horses, I suppose.
16 boxes. And I think there's about 25 or 26 paddocks, so you generally get at least a couple to a paddock if you want to put them out there, so we can house quite a few. And the race horses just stay in the boxes overnight and go out in a couple of paddocks during the day altogether.
Be a bit of a life balance too, though. I'm sure you don't necessarily want to be full all the time, because I mean, what do they say? Work to live, don't live to work, sort of thing. So I would imagine that's probably one of the things you you're all, look, you've got Ryan and Abbey here as well, working here, and I think you're a young girl helping you as well. So you have to have a bit of a life balance with the amount of horses that you have, and I suppose try and cap it so you don't get too out of control.
Yeah, well, that'd be ideal. If we can just get the balance right. We put on Grace Bilney. She works with us, and we've got the kids and Brian that helps us as well. So, look, we're comfortable at the moment with our staff to horse ratio, and it's just everything's been made harder without the shed. But now we have the shed at the current numbers we have. We're it should be relatively good sort of lifestyle and be able to get away and whatnot when we get a chance. Yeah.
Do you aspire to be the best or the biggest harness racing trainer or anything like that? Like, is that, or you're just happy going about it as you are at the minute, if you like?
Definitely, there was a time I probably did. When I was younger. In all honesty, if I was being honest, I don't now. I just sort of probably happy, trying to get the best out of the horses we can. Sometimes you can't get the best out of every horse for certain reasons. Yourself or the conditions, the environment the horse is in, or what you've inherited, I suppose. But I'd like to just be able to do the best I can with the horses and get the best we can out of them. That's probably the main goal, and trying to increase the quality. So we'll try and be a bit more select about which ones we take on, and just after quality, not quantity, really.
We'll touch on those in a second and how the horses are going, but the Lowry boys and this friendship business arrangement, life change, I would imagine, with them would have come as a bit of a shock, I suppose, when you first went to Charlton. You probably didn't expect to meet them, but they're infectious guys. They're great guys to be around, and they're a lot of fun as well. Yeah,
no, for sure. I mean, they're definitely life changing for us. We're very lucky to have them, and it's just been a relationship, I suppose. It's they sort of probably on the same page as me, and I'm on the same page as them, and they trust you and back you to the hilt, and they're just great to train for. Great blokes, not just on a not just professionally, but on a personal note. We hang out a bit, and I'm sure if I was ever in any sort of trouble, I can call upon them, and they've become lifelong and great mates, and so hopefully we can make this work, because they're certainly changed our life.
We just got a question. Paul's burn-off skills is a bit questionable about some of his burning off skills from what I've seen.
Yeah, I left him in control of the burn-off Wednesday for a couple of hours, which is a mistake on my part. It won't happen again.
No, that's okay. He won't mind that part. The shed, you've got a treadmill in there, you're going to have a walker, so you're going to have pretty much everything at your disposal. Is there anything else, before we start touching the horse, is there anything else that is going to happen? Like, I know, the shed, as you said, you've been waiting for it, but have you got anything else on the radar that you might want here?
Not really. I think we got all bases covered now, which was good. We've never been in this position before. We got as I said, the track is really a great track. It's going to be a great track. We've got the water walker. We've got going to have the dry walker, and we've got the treadmill. And we've got lovely day paddocks, and we haven't got a swim, but with a water walker, I don't think we'll be sort of relying on the swim at all. As I said, we've got the best facilities, really, and it's up to us to get the best out of the horses now, because we've got no excuses.
Abby's saying sorry. I think she must have touched the camera by the looks and got a bit of a shake. You want to improve your stock. Recently I was at NZB for the yearling sale, over there early about February. You were over there. You are targeting better stock. You're looking outside to have less but higher quality horses, but also, I suppose, horses that you guys can acquire, where you can.
Yeah, for sure. I suppose every trainer wants to train the best horses they can. Unfortunately, we don't always have the owners. We're in a position now where we have. That they want the best and we want to train the best. So, we just need to try and find them and, do the best job we can selecting them, I suppose.
Yeah, and the little horse, how does he go? The little better light go all right?
I hope so. He was dear enough. Haven't done a lot with him yet, but the bloke who broke him in was, so there was something different about him, and liked him, and I've done a little bit with him, and he's certainly got a great attitude, and he covers the ground good. So there's a couple of them, certainly attitude and the way they move, to my way, obviously they've got to have a motor, but they've got to have them attributes as well. So.
The rest of your horses, Vanquish Stride was awesome the other night. He's in tomorrow night, I think, Saturday night, 2 nights' time. But you would have been wrapped with him, hitting the line. Seems like a horse really starting to relish a little bit more of this, I suppose, left of field stuff, water walkers and those things. Very, very strong to the line that. Catalpa Rescue, dangerous, so he's just come back in. You'd be looking forward to getting a good program of those sort of horses under your belt with all these facilities.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look, we have got a good team, to be honest. We just sort of get them hitting the track together, and we'd sort of probably be regulars on a Saturday night if we could do that. But we've definitely got a good team behind us, and Vanquish Stride is probably a stable favourite. He always attacks the line, really. It doesn't, as long as he's sort of had an economical run. Doesn't matter how fast they get home, he's always making ground. He's very, very fast. So, he got a good run, and he went particularly well.
Yeah, he did. He found the line. It's an interesting race he's in. It's a funny race. There's a big spread of horses. He's going to be a live chance. But I mean, with that, he gets a bad draw, but he will be a live chance. What is the ideal horse for you? Like I was mentioning there before about the yearling you went and bought. Do you like babies? Do you like getting older horses, like horses that someone else has tried and maybe changing them around? Like what's the ideal horse for you nowadays?
I probably do like both. I like the babies. When I first started out in the industry many years ago, I sort of cut my teeth on claiming horses, which you can't sort of claim them as much anymore. But so I used to appreciate getting the older horses that could win races and had ability, and just getting a hold of them and just going, not working them overly hard and feeding them well, and generally can get them to rejuvenate them. So I do enjoy that, but the way things are going these days, it's pretty hard to sort of buy a nice going horse, and they don't come by too often even to be given them. So young horses are definitely the way to go, I think, and it's the only way you're going to get that really good horse, and that's what we're searching for. So and look, I enjoy doing the young horses as well. There's no doubt about that. So yeah, young horses, I think. Yeah.
Do you have any sneaky ones coming through?
Oh. No, there's plenty coming through, but probably not far enough down the line. We don't do too much. I'm pretty easy on them early, and with everything going on, I've had a few fanned out as well to get some work done on for us. So there's certainly some well-bred stock coming through. So there'd be 10 to a dozen 2-year-olds and yearlings. So. I just don't know at the moment. I can't say that there's a real standout at the moment, but I haven't not that far down the line either.
Give me nothing. No. 5 minutes and you give me nothing. Mate, well done. I think it's great. I think also, we undersell our sport. Sometimes it is a family sport. It must be great to have the 2 kids here. And you're going to be able to, the business is big enough that you're going to be able to support them with a job as well. They're both great ambassadors as well for the industry, so you must be proud of how that part's going. And I think this is only a great advert for harness racing, but also the horse racing industry as well. So I think it's great, mate, and thanks for showing me around.
No, you're welcome. Thanks very much.
Thanks, mate.